Hello, and welcome to the Dynamic Man Experience, a podcast dedicated to men who want to become the 10.0 version of themselves through mastering the three key relationships of mindset, money, and the many people in their lives, creating long-lasting, deep connections and trusted bonds for real appreciation and understanding.
And it's like there was a reel that was like, my ADHD self. Yeah, I love his part where he's like, I'm humanity's biggest cheerleader. And I'm like, I feel like I'm like gonna be challenging you for the title, bro, because like I'm with you. Yeah, because I can tell you, I would not want to go through that again. Like,
No.
neither one of us want to like be like, oh, let's go start a new clean slate. Like, no, we're in it now. We're 18 years in. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to have systems. Like my oldest kid came down this last week. I hadn't seen him since October, and all of our systems were off for the week. And you could tell it. Like,
Right.
oh my God, we're all like used to eating at the same time, getting
Yeah.
up at the
Yeah.
same time, doing everything the same way. But then I figured out, oh, well, I'm gonna have to get a new system for what happens when the system gets thrown off.
Hey, we're going to be chatting with the fascinating Jessica Lauren Vine, who is turning the chaos of ADHD, dyslexia, and all sorts of other neurodivergences into the systems that are not only building a business empire, but is also creating an incredibly happy family atmosphere with her husband and kids who have all bought in to the incredible systems that they have created to make sure that they all live together in harmony. Not always harmony, but as close to harmony as you can get. Because this girl, believe me, she is the happiest person I've met this year. So let's get on it.
It is. Yeah, that's like my favorite thing. Like me and Joe, my hubby, like that's pretty much all we do. That's just laugh.
So
our house
you're
is a little
fond of
wild.
each other and you laugh together. Wow, that's
Yes.
powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's my favorite human, and I know not every couple could say that.
It's the unfortunate thing about relationships is happy people stand out because you don't meet happy couples too often, really happy couples. They're not as plentiful as they should be.
I it's funny because like I didn't realize it until people like started commenting on it. They're just
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, you're happy." I'm like, "This weird."
Jessica Lauren Vine. Welcome to the Dynamic Man Experience podcast. Great to have you.
Thank you. I've got a lot of men in my life, so this is the perfect podcast for me.
Good. I hope they're all behaving. I hope they're all not behaving.
It's like it depends on what you call behaving.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I know we've met in Dan Martell's lead program, and of course, that is a hotbed of activity. Some incredible people. Tell me a bit little about the work that you do, and why did you get into Dan's program in the first place?
Yeah, so it was interesting how I came across Dan. I actually didn't find him from his new social media push. I found him from his leadership from like the tech side of things because I had gone from marketing and copywriting, which is what I've been doing for almost 2 decades, and I'd gotten into real estate and going from writing and copywriting and then getting into real estate and running a team, I'm like, I'm a little out of my depth here. So I need some help. So I started watching his content and then I met him on Instagram through one of his lives and through a series of events. Last July ended up in Elite.
He's one of a kind for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, look, I mean, you meet a lot of people, and this guy is so eager to help. He really is.
Yeah, I love his part where he's like, I'm humanity's biggest cheerleader. And I'm like, I feel like I'm like gonna be challenging you for the title, bro, because like I'm with you.
That's a great line, actually. I mean, sometimes it's hard to be the cheerleader, but He he has a good he has good instinct. He's got good intuition, and he really knows the right things to say. Really, for the most part, in the right
Yep.
moment. No, he really kind of gets people, gets it. I think he, like the cheerleader for humanity thing. That's a strong line.
Yes, 100%.
So you're in real estate. You're flipping homes, but like you're doing it like at a really systemized level. Yeah. Take me back to before you bought your first off market property. What made you even consider doing things differently to everybody else in the business?
Yeah, I mean, so whenever we really, and we being me and my husband, were really looking into getting into real estate, I knew he was never going to be interested in copywriting or anything, and we've been married for 18 years, and I know that the couple that grows together stays together, and the couple that grows apart gonna go apart. It just is what it is. And I'm quite fond of him, and he's quite fond of me, so we're like, let's keep it going.
That's a very underestimated word, fond. We don't use it enough, actually. So
Yeah.
that's a really that tells me like that you are a very powerful couple. I
Yeah.
don't even know his name. So what is his name?
His name is Joe, and he just came out with his first funny, ironic, his first novel,
Oh,
which is, and the reason it's
wow.
so funny is because like he was in school, he had reading comprehension disorder. He was in like the special classes because of dyslexia, and now, growing up, we learned like our kid is autistic, our 17-year-old, and then we started figuring out, oh my God, we're all on the spectrum and we have ADHD.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh my God, everything makes so much sense. So we're all just going through this period of realization. And for him specifically, being like a military man and like growing up in such tough times and having to try to figure out how to be a man when his father left. I'm like, how he's really impressive. And now with his novel and stuff, when he was like, he doesn't even like reading books, but he's an amazing storyteller. So
Okay.
I was like, dude, just use ChatGPT to help you articulate. Like you tell the story and then let it do the wordsmithing. And by George, he took 8 months to get it done, but his first one launched like 2 weeks ago. So and it's really good. I'm really proud of him.
Well done. Well done, Joe. Very impressive. Different levels of genius in your family, huh?
Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, like what's going on with us? Because it's just a family full of neurodivergents trying not to trigger each other's sense of touch or loud noises, or I get like blurry eyes from just looking at things the wrong way.
Right, right,
So
right.
like, what do we do? We just keep going.
Yeah, so like you talk about neurospicy. What is this neurospicy? I'm very intrigued by it.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like a cool way to be like, neurodivergent, like whether you're like autistic or ADHD or something like that. It's just like my husband sent me this video and it's like, oh, I thought I was a dumb horse, but I'm actually just a zebra that I didn't know I was a zebra. And
Wow,
I like
it's a great way to
it's
look at
like
it.
blew my mind and I was like, you're so right.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's
Yep.
incredible. And like we're discovering so much more about the mind and how it works in the last 15, 20 years, whatever. It really is a good time to be expanding on the mind, really, isn't it?
It is. It is. I'm pretty obsessed about it.
Yeah.
If you were to ask my friends like who is Jessica, they would probably be like, "Oh, well, she is the positive mindset lady." Despite going from copywriting to real estate, running ops, everybody's just like, she's a positive spin all the time.
Fantastic. I suppose like with all this neurodivergence, it really plays into what Dan Martell is saying about systems.
Yeah, you have to have systems. Like My oldest kid came down this last week. I hadn't seen him since October, and all of our systems were off for the week. And you could tell it, like,
Right.
oh my God, we're all like used to eating at the same time, getting
Yeah.
up at the same time, doing everything the same way. But then I figured out, oh, well, I'm gonna have to get a new system for what happens when the system gets thrown off.
How easy is it for you to create systems?
If you would have asked me a few years ago, I would have been like, I didn't notice that I had everything systematized, so I'd be like, oh, I don't have any systems. Now I'm like, literally my whole life is just the system.
Right. So you didn't recognize the systems that you were living by.
No, not at all. Like, I thought it was just normal that you eat at the same time every day. You
Okay.
have your meals planned. I thought that was just that you just do that, and
Okay.
everybody's like, no, you don't.
That, that's so interesting, isn't it? It's so interesting that like we do this, would you say unconsciously, subconsciously, or is it just how do we get to that point that our brain is actually, okay, I'm taking over here. You just carry on with your day.
For
But in
me,
the
I think
in a
you
positive
just have
way.
to survive. You just are your brain and your body's like, I gotta survive, so what do I have to do? And it just kind of goes into action.
Yeah, because we talk about limiting beliefs and limiting decisions, but sometimes the brain is actually giving us what does Dan say? Like discipline is freedom. So like positive limiting, unlimiting beliefs, unlimiting decisions, that the mind takes on and puts in place so that you have the discipline automatically backed up
Yeah,
in your system. Your system is systemizing itself. That's incredible.
yeah. It's
We don't think about it that way often. We think about it the opposite way. So negative emotions, like positive emotions, obviously coming from the way that you instill a system, and then like that keeps you on the straight and narrow, sane and efficient, effective. So getting back to your work as in the real estate world, which is, that's quite the opposite of ADHD kind of thing because anything goes. People don't show up in time, maybe people jack up their prices, whatever. There's always something going on in the construction world. But when you walk into a property, what are you actually scanning for? Not just in the walls, but in the deal, the numbers are like the people that are involved.
yeah. So actually, we do everything 100% remotely.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like I know everyone's like, how do you do everything remotely? So like we do flip, but we also do wholesaling. So if we find a property and we put it under contract, we assign it or basically sell our rights for X amount to an end buyer that does want to flip it. Um, so, for instance, how a typical day might look for our team, it would be an inbound lead would come in from whatever lead source, like a direct mail lead or a PPC lead, something like that. And so, whenever it would come in, we have a sales process that they go through with scripts, checklists, and everything that they have to hit. And then they go through that entire process, and like we have the leading indicators, lagging indicators that they work through, and then we can measure against that. So it's perfect because we're able to diagnose from a spreadsheet. But the way that we're able to operate remotely and do that is because of beautiful Google Street View, tools like PropStream, where you can pull comps pretty easily and basically run your whole entire business from anywhere. You could be in Italy, wherever you want to be.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
There's a guy, where's he from? I think he's in Denmark, and he's wholesaling here in America.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, because it's apparently very difficult to do any real estate over there. It's like 6 months before you can even close on a property.
Right.
So he's like, forget that. Um, but yeah, all the systems are in place so that we can do rehab estimates based on the condition that the seller tells us the property is in. Then we go under contract with the seller, and then we send a photographer out during our due diligence or an inspector. So we don't have to be there. We pay someone else to go out and take a look, give us their professional feedback. And then, as long as it's in line with what the seller actually said, we'll be able to move forward at the price that we said. If they maybe didn't know, or sometimes, people lie, uh, we catch them and we're like, here's the proof. We need a price reduction, and they either choose to take it or not. Um, so yeah, it's just rinse and repeat, kind of.
That's remarkable. That's really, really remarkable, the whole thing. You did mention checklists. How important are checklists?
Oh, the most important thing, because like it's like the whole thing. I think it was maybe yesterday on the call with Dan, whenever he was talking about, okay, well, one of my team members missed a check step, and I knew it because one of the things was that he was supposed to review something with me, and I knew he didn't do the checklist. Asked him about it, couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Like for me, if I get on the call, like maybe I've even done this script 5 billion times, I
Yeah.
still have the script in front of me and I still have the checklist over there, because especially when you have like ADHD tendencies, you're like, go swim off somewhere talking about something else. Gotta bring
Absolutely.
it back.
I feel like I must be ADHD myself, because like a fly hitting the window there will take me away.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I start so many things. I start so many things. So that's really interesting. I'm really impressed with all that. Um, but like, what do sellers, when you meet sellers, what do they really want when they're trying to exit? And how do you read between the lines of what they say and what they're actually feeling?
Yeah, I mean, like with sales, it's literally training every day and getting better, studying psychology. Because, like, if you are not training every day, you get rusty and, like, it's just real fast. So, like, we have our sales scripts, but there are nuances in there where people might be giving, like, smoke screen answers where they're telling you one thing, but
Yeah,
you know it's not the truth. And so you're
yeah,
like, how do I get through it? And the reason that they have the smoke screen up is because either one, they're afraid that you're not on their side and you're gonna try to get over on them,
okay.
or two, they don't even know. They don't even know what's going on with themselves.
Okay, okay. So like there is a point in these conversations where you can, f- convince them that you are their best option, you are on their side, that you have the systems in place, that you have everything optimized, and that like you can show them every step of the way. There's nothing vague or opaque about it. It's very transparent.
Yeah, I mean it's about just getting their guard down. Like the
Yeah.
first sentence that you say on the call with them, it does set the tone for the whole entire combo. So like if you're like, "Hi, this is Jessica with Phoenix Horizon Homes. Are you the owner of property 123 Main Street?" They're like,
Yeah.
But if if you call and you're like, "Hey, it's Jessica. How are you doing today?" They're like, "Do I know this person?" So their guard is like immediately down. They're like, "I'm good. How are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, great. I'm doing well." And usually I say something goofy like, "If I can't complain. If I did, I'd feel bad about it," or something like that. And they're
Right.
like, "Ah,
Right.
ha," and they still don't know who I am. And then I'm like, tell them who I am and what I'm doing there, and then they're just kind of like vibing with me already, and they'll give me like maybe 3 or 5 seconds more, and then you got to earn it again and again.
Like your energy is so important,
Yep.
that
Yep.
you're not riding into their world like to scam them. Because look, we're all sick of like, who's this number? Who's
Yes.
calling
Yes.
me? The scam is like everywhere. So you really have to disarm any prospect, really, any seller, anyone that you're trying to do business with. Disarming them is self-deprecation, is a great art form. The ability to like, yeah, look, I'm a bit of a goof, but like, yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
Yeah. And then just like, yeah, like I think it's very important. And when I go to places like Italy, you know, the one of the most important things every day for me is like making someone laugh in their own language.
Oh, nice.
And I look, it just opens so many doors. You know, it's, I think disarming is really powerful. People, and people want to talk, you know, they really want to have a laugh. Maybe they mightn't think about it. Maybe they don't realize it when they wake up in the morning. But if someone steps into their world and like they find themselves laughing before they even realize it, that's such a game changer in the conversation, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, that's like my favorite thing. Like me and Joe, my hubby, like that's pretty much all we do. That's just laugh.
So,
Our
so
our house
you're
is a little
fond of
wild.
each other and you laugh together. Wow, that's
Yes.
powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's my favorite human, and I know not every couple could say that.
It's the unfortunate thing about relationships is happy people stand out because you don't meet happy couples too often, you know? Really happy couples. They're not as plentiful as they should be.
I it's funny because like I didn't realize it until people like started commenting on it. They're just
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, you're happy." I'm like, "This weird?" Like
It is actually weird, you know? I mean, if you find another happy couple and you ask them if they can pick out another happy couple in their circle of friends, you know, they really have to think about it. You know, so this is so powerful, you know, the fact that you're using words like fond and laugh. I mean, these are the things that you want in a relationship, really, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. And I mean, let's just put it out there. Like our relationship was not always great.
Of course. Of course.
We were 2 weeks away from a finalized divorce back in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, look, and I remember my first divorce, my father saying to me, just stick with it, just stick with it. You'll come out the other side, you'll be better off for us, you know. And I didn't listen to him, and he was right because the difficult moments are the ones that really strengthen your foundations, you know. Guys, seriously, there has never, ever been a better time in the whole of history to be a man. It's a big challenge. There is no doubt. There's a big challenge. No doubt. No doubt whatsoever. But how are we rising to this challenge? What are we doing about it? That's why I'm here. That's why I do this work. It's never been a better time, ever, to be a man. Let's get on it.
Yeah, because I can tell you, I would not want to go through that again. Like,
No.
neither one of us want to like be like, oh, let's go start a new clean slate. Like, no, we're in it now. We're 18 years in. Like,
Yeah.
this is it.
Exactly. And look, you said it yourself earlier that he didn't have a father figure to start off with, and now he's publishing books, so, and you've got what sounds like a really amazing business,
Yeah. Yeah.
that only that you and Joe could have created.
Yeah. And that's one of the big things too. It's like, I honestly used to be like, well, I'm the front person, like I'm out front, like you're just the support person. I was just honest, just being honest. It was nasty and it was mean, and I was just like, know your place. I'm not kidding. It was pretty nasty. And then like it's not true. Like Orlena Cardone, she did a video about how she supports Grant,
Yeah.
and she's like, think about it. The house, it has a support. That's really flippin' important. The support is gone. The house goes down. so,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
so I got my head straight. That's good.
And like, it look, if you have someone supporting you in everything you do, that is that is the difference, you know, and
Yeah.
the fact that you're really working together, you're fond of each other again, I say it, laughing together. I mean, you are the poster child couple for couples, you know?
I hope to help people because like I see so many couples and they're just like fighting over these trivial things. They're like, "Oh yeah, pick his socks up." Like,
It's buttons and triggers and patterns, and you know, we we do one thing, there's a reaction to that. We don't do something else, there's another reaction to that, and it's just, you know, I talked to a guy in his mid 70s a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about how he didn't do this, and his wife had this reaction, and I'm like, why didn't you just do that? And then she wouldn't have had that reaction. And then you could have gone for a walk on the beach at sunset and gone for a glass of wine and you wouldn't be fighting. And like, you know, you wouldn't be repeating that pattern. I never thought of it like that. It was always in
yeah.
your hands, man. It was all like, we just get into decades long buttons, triggers and patterns that like, you know, just kind of rock our boat when we should be just like cruising.
Yeah, and it's been helpful too since we really just like took the it's called the RADS test, RAADS, and it's a test for autism.
Okay.
And so my 17-year-old, he's actually been diagnosed whenever he was a kid.
Okay.
And my husband was always like hinting to me like, "Woman, you are definitely you're definitely there." I was like, "I'm normal. Back off." He's like, "You aren't anything but."
Right.
And so we took the test and stuff, and my kids took the test, and like, yeah, we're like, "Oh, we passed with flying colors. We were very there, very on the spectrum." And like, so we started looking like Instagram. I'm like, it's just so underrated. You can learn you can learn so much stuff. ADHD, autism. Man, I learned so much stuff on there. And it's like, oh my gosh, like all this stuff makes sense where it's like sensory issues, sensitivity to light,
Yeah.
your social battery getting drained, like it's and it's like the AUDHD, so it's like autism and ADHD
Okay.
together. And it's like there was a reel that was like, my ADHD self said yes to the party. My autism self showed up, doesn't want to be there. I was like, I feel like that happens all the time.
That's incredible. And you know, like we kind of we give social media a bit of a hard time, but you know, like my mother was diagnosed with MS 1963 in Ireland. And like, what are you going to do? Go to the Encyclopedia Britannica, that's probably
Oh no.
50
Yep.
years old, and try and figure out what is this? You know, there's
Yeah.
no place to figure it out, you know. So she just said, do you know what? I'm just going to carry on as if I don't have it and just keep going. Because what else can you do? It's like
Yeah.
the doctors told her to go home, prepare to die. And she was like, that doesn't sound like a plan, you
Yeah.
muppets, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of, you know, social media is introducing us to like-minded people. It's teaching us a lot about how the way the mind works, ADHD, everything, you know, like how much are we learning on a daily basis? Maybe the doom scrolling is like, okay, we have to go through a lot of doom scrolling, but like, there's nuggets in there.
Yeah.
It really is, you know. Speaking of which, can you walk me through how your brain works when you're building a new system? Like maybe when you're fixing a broken acquisition process or even restructuring operations.
Yeah, so the first thing that I do is I think about like I'll get the overarching framework, and a lot of times we will buy other people's frameworks and then we have to
Okay.
tailor it to ourselves, with who our
Okay.
team is. And so for instance, if we're like, okay, this is a pretty good system, but we don't feel like it aligns with our core values in a certain spot. So like we'll look at it. And so for instance, one of the things a lot of companies that are wholesalers will do, they will get the property under contract for a higher price than what they know they can give. And then later, like a week or two later, they come back and they say, "Oh, we actually can't do it. We're going to knock it down like 50,000, 60,000." And they knew from the beginning that
Right.
they wouldn't be able to do it. So anything that says that we get, we don't do that. So we
Okay.
have to change that part of the script. So first is, okay, whenever we're building this system and doing this, does it align with our core values? Are we going to be able to be resilient, acting full of integrity, being of service, and acting with excellence? Yes or no? Yes, great. No, out.
So you have high standards because you know your core values.
100%. And it's like I hear a lot of people they have core values, but they're flexible on those. Like that's not a core value.
No, a core value, like when it's transgressed or trampled on, has the effect of making you quite angry.
Yeah, yeah,
So, like, if someone is repeatedly like trampling all over your core value and you're giving it flex, you're right. It's not a core value, is it?
yeah. It's like it's a wish. It's a nice to have, or you think it sounds good, so you say it's your core value till
Yeah.
it's time. It's like what is my husband's always like. You say you want to be a gangster, and still you gotta act like a gangster.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I suppose you do meet a lot of gangsters in the real estate world, don't you?
You have some interesting
Wanna be gangster.
Yes, some interesting people. A lot of really good people, but then some like shady characters that you're like, what is that? That's not even
Uh,
legal.
That's a good point because, like, when you have high standards and you know your core values, how fast are you able to pick out the shady characters? How fast do they stand
Um,
out to you?
so I would say my husband is better at picking those out. So if I have an iffy feeling about somebody,
Yeah.
I go and tell him about it, and he's like 99.9% right
Okay.
every time.
Okay. Okay. So look, that is, I want to be like you guys. That is so impressive that you have like everything like aligned, that you have decided on your core values, which is something not a lot of people do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of changes in, like, I grew up in a household of faith, basically.
Okay.
And, like, my mom passed whenever I was 25. And up until that time, I basically, most of the time, just lived to try to kind of, like, make her happy, make her proud. And then, like, try to do the same for my dad, try to do the same for, like, my brother. And then, as I'm aging, I'm like, first off, you can't make everybody happy. It's
It's
so
exhausting.
tiring.
It's exhausting.
It is so exhausting, and you're never going to do everything right, even if you're trying to. And the thing that I got to thinking about not too terribly long ago was that, hey, I live in a house with my best friend, my husband, my love,
Yeah.
and like I'm putting him through hell because I'm trying to make my dad happy, my brother happy,
Yeah.
and I'm just like torturing myself. And
And
he has
now,
to live with that.
and now that you have flipped the script, everyone is happy because you're doing well and you're in a good relationship and you've got a great lifestyle, good kids. Everyone is like doing what they should be doing to be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so my family does not approve that I am no longer religious, but they still love me, which is nice.
I know where you're coming from. I do. I know. Like you don't have to be religious to be a good person, do you?
I know. I'm like, okay, so these things have only been said in private before. So I'm
Yeah.
like, look, I do not need and not to be disrespectful, but I'm like, I do not need a sky daddy to be good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to be good because it's in me. That's what I want. Like, I don't have to be afraid I'm going to hell or that I'm going to get a virtual smack or heavenly smack. I just want to be good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's at the end of the day, when you realize that helping people is the religion, really. That we are like in service, like what we can do, how can we help people? It's always about the collective, really, community.
Yeah.
How important is community in, I suppose, like, we're looking at so much disconnection.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
like a common hello is kind of like very uncommon on the
Well,
streets. You know what I mean? Everyone's wearing earpods or like whatever. Like there's no talking. So it's kind of a lost art, the art of connection. People feeling anxious, maybe they don't feel good enough about like opening up, chatting to people, asking questions. Maybe people won't like me. It's just talk to everyone.
yes, it's funny because like I am like the one who's talking to everybody. I'm like, oh, it's a human. They look semi-friendly.
Yeah,
Hello, good day. And my
exactly.
husband's like, please don't ever talk to me, people. Please don't ever talk to me. Okay, so I'm sorry for him, but the other day, he's going into the store with my son, and out of nowhere pops up this guy, and he says, "Hugs for TikTok." And my husband's like, "I don't do hugs," and ran off. And the whole entire time in the store, he was like, "Oh my God, whenever I go out of the store, that guy is gonna be there, and he's gonna be waiting for me, and he's gonna want hugs for TikTok." And so him and my son walked
Wow.
all the way around the parking lot as far away as they could get. And he comes home and he tells me, he's like, I'm never going back to that Publix again. I'm like,
Wow.
what? Why not? He's like, nope, never doing it. But I coaxed him back. He went back. But like it's like a really tough thing for him. Very, very difficult. And if I'm with him, though, he's cool. So I'm like his emotional support person.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, there you go. Like, what a tagline for the coaching business, isn't it? Your
What's that?
your emotional support person. That's
Oh, that's cool.
genius.
Oh, yeah, that's what I feel like I am to a lot of my friends because like I don't know, I've always loved making friends with the weirdos or the
Yeah.
people that those people are weird and I'm like I'm probably gonna love them. They're probably gonna be like my favorite person.
Exactly. Like, and it's usually not something a weirdo might expect, like a random stranger opening up to them, but like you practice active disarmament.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I love that, I mean, it really kind of talk to everyone, it doesn't take, it doesn't take that many seconds to make someone's day.
Yeah, that's true. Or just like, hey, keep going. Like,
Yeah.
literally, like the bag people or like anybody that's doing a good job. I'm like, hey, good on you. I saw you paid attention to that. That's awesome. Way to be excellent. Or my kids, same.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one waitress, she ended up like bringing a drink to him before he even noticed he was out. And he was like, wow, you did such an amazing job. You're like the best. You're like amazing. And she was just like super like, oh my God, like I've never been complimented so deeply before. And she was like, how do I take this compliment?
And that's another great point, the fact that compliments are so hard come by. People are more combative rather than complimentary, so like it really is, when you think about it, so easy to stand out with good energy, people, and how you make people feel.
Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant. What what do you think that people don't see about you, like running a real estate empire, and then as a side hustle teaching systems for ADHD and ADHD, so like what is that actually the secret to how you stay aligned?
Um, so I find it really hard to do nothing. So just relaxing is hard for me. So like
Do you need a system for relaxing?
I do. I actually do. If I'm going to relax, I have to schedule it
Right.
and
Okay.
and tell myself what I'm going to be doing. Like, oh, you're going to take an hour and 45 minutes out to watch a movie with your husband? Noted.
Okay.
Neither one of us like to just like take the whole day to chill. What does that mean? What are we chilling? Like, how is this chilling gonna happen?
Well, I did a reset with like 7 guys in Cape Cod 2 weeks
Oh, I
ago.
saw that.
Yeah. And it came up with two different guys just saying the same thing about their Saturday, like and how you know, they take that chill day and they spend it, on the couch or whatever, get up late, all that stuff. And then, 5 o'clock rolls around and they're like, well, I did nothing
Yeah.
with my day, you know.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like it's really important that you recognize that you can have an active chill day.
Yeah, yeah. Play
That's
some
okay.
games,
That's
watch some
okay.
TV, do
Yeah.
something.
And that's okay. Like it doesn't matter if your battery's half empty or if it's fully empty, like it doesn't matter how you get back to full charge, as long as you get back to full charge, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Cause like we had my kid down and we were like going out and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna need like 2 weeks to recover. Because we went out to eat, we went to SeaWorld, we went to Gatorland and maybe somewhere else. Maybe not. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it's a lot. Cause like I told somebody the other day I was going through the Google ads or something like the analysis and making sure all that stuff was working right, and they're like, "You like, are you catching all this? Is this good? Is this stressful?" I was like, "Oh yeah, this is easy." I was like, "Try having our household like you're dealing with neurodivergent teenagers."
Wow. Wow.
Like
Okay.
it can be like a powder keg in that joint.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's a lot, and people are like, well, how do you like run the real estate? How do you do all that stuff? And it's like that's math and systems. Whenever you're dealing with a 10-year-old that's having anxiety and like mental images that are causing it to be hard for him to breathe, that's hard. When you're dealing with a 13-year-old that can't stand when someone touches his arm lightly, he's going to go to the floor and cry. Like, that's hard. Like, those things are difficult, not business.
And how do you cope in those situations? What is your go-to strategy to help in both cases or all of those cases, whenever that happens?
Really, it just comes with like a lot of empathy and understanding. And like before, so like my oldest is 21. Like we didn't know about autism. And we were just like, he is a brat. Like,
Okay.
oh my God, he's so terrible. Like he hated having his hair cut. He would pitch a fit. Like I was like, what is happening? Now,
Wow.
looking back, like whenever he was down here, I was like, I am so sorry I didn't know. Like, I did not know. Cannot tell you how sorry I am. And he was just like, what are you gonna do? I was like, now we'll do better. So here we are together. So
Again, it comes back with empathy and understanding. It comes back to energy.
yeah, yeah. And it's like, now that me and my husband are on the same wavelength with everything and we understand, because he's also got PTSD. So I'm like, we got alphabet soup up in this mug. Like, we got all kinds of, we got everything. So it's like, I'm like so tired. My brain just never stops. And it's like, as I'm looking at my kids, I see the things that I experienced whenever I was their age. And thankfully, I'm able to help them through it because I've read books, I've, you know, learned how to communicate. My mom was trying not to die from the time I was 12 to 25.
Okay.
She was on oxygen. She had bad heart and lungs. And so, like, I didn't have like, therapy sessions or anything.
You couldn't, yeah,
So,
yeah. Look, that's a huge outlet, huge mentor that you're missing there, really, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, like, I had a lot of resentment for my parents for multiple reasons. But, like, I realized that they did the best that they could with what they were equipped with.
Exactly.
And so that's why I'm like, Nathan, I hope you also forgive me and realize I was also doing the best I could with what I was equipped with.
You know, like, and when he has a kid, when he has a family, like, he's going to be looking back and saying, oh, you know, acceptance and understanding on his part, but like, um, how much better are things going to be for future neurodivergent kids, you know? Like,
Yep.
they're going to be real treasures, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so cool. So like we moved from Tennessee down to Florida. It's been almost exactly 1 year. And our neighbors to the left of us, they have an autistic son that's like very, very, very autistic. He's probably going to be with them, for forever.
Yeah.
So like Joanne and Hugh, like they straight up are such good supportive neighbors. I'm like, we could not have gotten, if we went and interviewed everybody, we could not have gotten any better neighbors.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like, I was like, how did this happen? Like, sometimes whenever, or all the time, whenever you're vibrating in a certain energy, you will end up where your energy pulls you. Like, you can't help it. You're going there. So if you don't like your energy, you better look out because you're going to end up somewhere you don't want to be. So you got to fix the energy because a lot of times people do it backwards. They're like, oh, I have to have everything perfect and then I'll have good energy. It's like, no, you got to swap it around. You have to have good energy so you can get what you want.
Yes. There you go. That's it. That's exactly it.
Yep.
So, with that being said, like, where do you see yourself going with neurospicy?
So this is very recent development of me even knowing this about myself. And so for a little, this is super funny. So my husband sent me this reel and it's like, so this may be the most autistic thing ever. You learn that you have autism as an adult, and then autism then becomes your special interest. And I was like, oh crap. So I was like, oh no, I'm in the matrix, meta in here. So I don't know that I'm necessarily going to be focusing on like marketing to neurodivergent people or neurospicy people, but they're gonna come. They're gonna come because they can't help it.
You know, it's really it's a great name, first of all, neurospicy. And like Dan Martell says, it's probably the opposite in your case. Your mess is the message, but it's probably like for you, it's like your organization, your systems is the message, because that's what's going to change lives.
Well, it was a mess for a long time. Jeez, yeah. Whenever I tell people like where I came from and that mess, they're just
Yeah.
like, "Holy cow, like how did you get here?" So it's like, yeah, the mess may be the message, but people don't want to see you still in your mess. Like that is not exciting where you're like, "Oh yeah, it was a train wreck, still is a train wreck."
No, like you say, like you've come out the other side, like, and probably coming so close to divorce was a massive wake-up call.
You would think. That was very early on, like
Yeah.
2000, I want to say 2013, maybe 8,
Right.
9. The years go. But no, that's still like I was still a hot mess. I was still a hot mess. I still thought like, you know what? I don't need you. You're welcome that I'm married to you. Like it was really rough, Neil. It was not nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Look, no matter what relationship you're in, you're going to go through the same phases, same stages of development and friction and all that. But it's going to be the same in every relationship, isn't it? It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, exactly. He was just the unlucky victim of that portion of my life. Like,
Yeah, and look,
sorry, buddy.
look, it all comes to fruition. Nothing is easy. No matter what you do,
Yeah,
nothing is easy. And you wake up in the morning and you expend so much energy every day, you might as well do it right, yeah?
yeah, that's true. And like, now, like we were talking yesterday, we do our walks around our neighborhood and stuff, and we just talk and just
Yeah.
say whatever. And it's funny too because like all so with ADHD, a lot of times, you'll interrupt people because you're excited. You're like in the combo with them
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh shit, then I interrupted them. Were they done?" Da, 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 da. So now whenever I'm like on a roll, then I'll stop and I'll be like, "I'm done." And then he doesn't have to wonder like, am I cutting her off? And da, da, da. So that now our combos have just gotten so much easier because he knows I'm done. Your turn.
And tell me, like on those walks through the neighborhood, how important is it like to walk side by side?
It's my favorite thing. I mean, I don't know what it would be like. Like whenever it rains, I'm like, I want to walk. Like it's just our thing to walk and talk and not have the kids, mom, dad, Um, so it's a must. Like we spend time together every day and we recap. Like we know what the most important things for each other is, and we check in with each other, and I'm like, hey, you got any page views? You get any more page views? How's that going?
Right.
And then he'll check in on my progress, and we'll just cheerlead each other.
What would you say is the most important, I don't know, would you say value standard, whatever you'd say, what is the most important aspect of a relationship?
Respecting each other.
Yeah, that's huge.
Like
That's
I
huge.
know there's like a book series that's like love and respect, like women want love, men want respect, but I feel like I'm like, hello, I'm a woman. I actually do also too want respect. So respect and respect. Like you gotta respect each other or otherwise you're gonna make decisions that are
Yeah.
not great and they're gonna do things that are disrespectful to your partner. Like everything hinges on respecting that other person.
I think that is so important, I was listening to some ex-Navy SEAL on YouTube, and it came up like, what is the meaning of life? Asking warriors, what is the meaning of life? And apparently, in some bar that they frequent near their base in Virginia or Washington or wherever it is, that is a question on the wall, and you can add, like with chalk, you can add your answer to it, and the overall, like, most common answer is self-respect.
Hmm.
The meaning of life, self-respect. Wow. I mean, if you respect yourself, you respect others, and you set a high standard for how people treat you.
Yep.
You don't accept anything less. High standards and core values. How
Yep.
important are they, like, in keeping a relationship strong and growing and evolving? Walk in the neighborhood together in the rain.
Well, I want to walk in the rain. He is like, ooh, the dirty sky water. I shall not have that. So
Yeah,
every once in a while, I will get him out there and it will start raining and he acts like he's sugar and he's got to melt.
I'm Irish, so I have the same kind of attitude towards rain. I've had enough for one lifetime.
Well, funny enough, he's half Native American and half Irish.
Okay. He's like a really good mix of, how would we call it, kind of pagans, worship of the seasons, the land, the sea, the elements. Yeah, very, very interesting.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because whenever we first met, he was working construction, so he looked more Native American. Then
Right.
I bring him in out of the sun, and boy, I didn't even know I married an Irishman.
Yeah, just,
Like, hey, who are
just
you?
don't, just don't stand them anywhere near a white wall because you won't see them.
I know. It's funny because like everybody's like, wait a second, I thought you said he was part Native American. I was like, I haven't let him in the sun recently. Don't worry, you put him outside, he'll turn.
And speaking of Irish, in Ireland, the most valuable word is always the last word. We'll fight tooth and nail to have the last word.
Oh
You
no.
you have to be so sharp to have the last word. You have to knock people out. You have to be like Mike Tyson with the last word. So
Oh no.
I'm gonna grant you the last word here today. Like, what can you leave us with today, Jessica?
Well, I think that if we all do a little bit to brighten someone's day every day, that the world will be a happier and better place and a safer place for the people that we care about. And it's not that hard to do. And I hope that's what everybody does.
Beautiful. Where can we find you?
Just hit me up on Instagram at Jessica Lauren Vine, and that's probably the easiest place to get after me.
Have you got anything for that you can offer people to show them what you do?
So really with my job, we're like very direct to customer. So most of our customers are just like very distressed homeowners that
Okay.
need quick help, maybe some landlords or something. But most of the time, it's just marketing like that. Most of the stuff I do is just because I enjoy doing it. I
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a full plate at work, and the stuff I share is just because I love it.
And where can people get a taste of your neurospiciness?
Yes, well, all of my neurospiciness is definitely on Instagram, and my kids too, because they are they're hilarious. William's at like 500,000 views on his
Wow.
latest his latest one.
Are you serious? Incredible.
Yes, yes, he's pretty popular.
Wow. If the family's full of talent.
Yeah, they're fun. They're funny. They keep me laughing all the time too. It's just a hilarious musical around this place all the time.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. That is fantastic. You've made my July the 4th.
Aw, well, thank you. It's been great to hang out with you.
You too. Thanks very much, Jessica. Peace and love.
Thank you.
Call it what you want. But as guys, there's an exciting challenge to being a man these days. And it doesn't take that much to really stand out. And look, you are not as far away from that, from where you want to be, as you might think. Not when you can look at it from a different angle and get a better appreciation for the experience that has got you this far. You could call it a psychological cold plunge. It's time to freshen things up. Being a dynamic man. That is the challenge today.